Yo, what's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. Lunalights into the, well, current or new TCG format. It's of course a solid deck, but you know, Magician Souls being one of the most important cards, the most talked about cards here in this current TCG format. It's quite of an expensive card, and only the first rebuild, by the way, will contain Magician Souls. But I've been trying out Lunalights again past week actually, and this week as well with the Kali Yuga build. I mean, there are so many options. You have the Magician Souls build, which has some tops from past week, and you might have seen it popping up on Facebook or whatever. You know, Magician Souls and your what's it called? Curious, the small PK engine to search up your rank up spell card, for example, and you know, go for Utopia Kaiser and going for Kali Yuga during your opponent's turn. That's cool. And a card like Magician Souls, definitely helps out with your quote-unquote bricks. Then again, it's quite of an expensive card, and I really, I feel for the people that really, well, that want this card, because it's so expensive. And if you want to play Lunalights, it's a solid deck in the current TCG format. You definitely have other options, and also one of the new cards here in the TCG being the new Time Thief Exceed, the rank 4 Exceed Perpetua, I believe the name is. I hope I pronounced that one right. But it definitely gives the deck more options, and as you saw, well, previously that was my current build. It might need some work. I mean, again, you have so many possibilities in the extra deck, like for example, and that's not in the extra deck anymore, the Barricade Borg blocker for the potential extra discard, because, well, previously, you know, you might have, you might want to have that card in your extra deck for the potential extra discard your Lunalight trap, for example, but Nibiru is a huge problem, so, and that's why I definitely like this particular build, going for your Lambda first, and of course main necking your Gammas as well. As you know, Lambda has the ability to search out your Cyframe gear Gamma during the end phase, that is, but as you know, just leave your Lambda on the field during your opponent's turn. It gives you the option to negate any monster effect from your opponent and then special summon 2 monsters at the same time. So if you have the opportunity to put Masquerina next to your, you know, like your Cyframe gear Gamma and your driver, you can immediately go for, let's say, a Palooza or whatever. So solid play, and you know, it's still Master Rule 4, and the deck is definitely still hindered by the Master Rule 4 mechanics. I was used to, you know, like playing Lunalights in Master Rule 2020, and it's much more flexible. But this is, I think, a cool ending field. Again, Perpetua, the Redoer indeed, and Masquerina during your opponent's turn. I eventually went for the Perpetua Monster Reborn effect because I can banish my Redoer now, but you're probably just better off not special summoning the monster from the graveyard with your Perpetua, and you know, just equip like a trap card, your Time Thief trap card, directly from your deck to your other Time Thief exit your Redoer. So that's probably much better. You can just interrupt your opponent's play by detaching, let's say, a trap card, right? So it's definitely a solid deck, but the loss of Azathoth, it definitely hurts, right? I mean, it gave the deck so much power, raw power, going first, but it's still quite of a ridiculous deck. If you think about it, a card like Lunalight Tiger is not once per turn. Well, it's once per turn, but once per copy again, and it resets itself. So it's not like, let's say, the wind-ups, I believe, that they have those effects that you can only use their effect when they're, or at least once when they are face up on the field. So I guess that makes it a bit more balanced, or could make it a bit more balanced, but whatever, right? So going second, Orcust is still quite of a strong deck, but I feel it quite underperformed in the past weekend. Let's see how it's going to do in this current weekend here in the TCG, but it's definitely not Orcust that we knew because of the new ban list, and we have seen how the deck is doing in the OCG. It's definitely the best deck in the OCG, but for a good reason, because of the Gearsu, the level 4 Armageddonites, well, you know, the Mech Knight one, so speaks for itself that the deck there is the current best deck. Yeah, this game, right? I mean, the winner definitely blocked me out of the duel, and that's a problem. I mean, going second against that particular deck, Instant Fusion is definitely one of those cards that might get X'd soon, going into the new Master Rule mechanic, maybe limited, or yeah, probably limited. I feel that's the okay way of hitting something like Instant Fusion. So anyway, going first, again, some standard Lunalight plays, alright, I mean, I think everyone already knows these particular plays. Your Force Tricks, search out your Zephyros, going for the spell, I believe, the trap, eventually getting Zephyros in the graveyard, and then going for Redoer. The hand trap, yeah, Nibiru is dropped, and of course, that's why I like this part. It's like, before this, if you're not running Lambda, and maybe some more dangers, you definitely want to put up Appaloosa as fast as possible to prevent something like Nibiru of destroying your opening turn. And that's where Lambda could come into play, but that somewhat depends on you opening with your Gamma. Then again, not everyone is main-decking Nibiru, so, well, you know, like searching your Gamma during the end phase and still have Lambda on the field with a possible Masquerena during your opponent's turn is still very strong. Multiple interruptions and also ending with Appaloosa as well. So I went for the Utopia for the extra discard monster. I mean, it's basically free faller, and that's the advantage, I guess, in Master Rule 4 is that the immediate Appaloosa, so not let Lambda stay on the field, is going for Appaloosa, immediately opening up those 3 extra monster zones, and that is still the small downside of the deck in Master Rule 4 is the restriction in extra monster zones. But again, it speaks for itself, right? I mean, it's Lunalight. So Phoenix for the extra Link 2 Boral Sword upgrade, and this should be game, right? Yeah, indeed. More than enough to attack for a game. Going first against Heroes. Heroes not that great of a matchup, especially going second. And into the new TCG format, Heroes was hyped? No? I mean, basically, like in old school days, when the new battle list dropped, it was either Gladiator Beasts are coming back, or Heroes is the top deck. You know, like, good old school players will remember that meme/phrase, but anyway, so Lambda again hits the field, some shenanigans with Redoer as well. Lambda will search in the end phase, do have a couple of rank 4 exceed plays ready, probably going for Tornado Dragon or Dweller. Yeah, Tornado Dragon hitting the field for the extra monster Reborn. Indeed, discard the trap. Oh, okay, have the tanky set, yeah, more than enough. Oh, delicious. Ah, sweet. Perpetua as well for the extra shenanigans and the potential monster Reborn, but I'm probably just going to attach the trap, since Redoer, I believe, has 2 monsters attached, right? So that could be a brick. The Time Thief Infinity Barrier might be a brick card, but I believe, I mean, again, you have a couple of options. Magician's Souls in the main deck for more darks on the field. For your curious setting up the PK engine, I believe it's Boots that searches out your PK rank of spell card, and you know, like Kali Yuga during your opponent's turn. But most of the builds of Lunalights do run some bricks in the main deck, like, you know, cards that you really don't want to draw, like Utopia rank up, well, the Utopia Double or Nothing, but again, Magician's Souls could help out. And then again, yeah, okay, like Lunalights do have a couple of main deck cards that just discard any card from your hand to, you know, search Tiger or whatever. You know what I mean. You can just discard something and gain advantage out of that. So running those bricks for Lunalights isn't that bad. But eventually, this was a decent opening move, but not really sure what cost me the duel eventually. Was it Call by the Grave or was it Nibiru? Not really sure. But yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Saloon, it's a ridiculous card from Adolches. It just gives them the opportunity to search Promenade or Promenada for the monster negation. And not only monster negation, it gets something back from the graveyard as well. And on top of that, you can just set another Promenade from your deck for next turn. So imagine free Climax. You know, like, it's for Orcus that is, and it's quite a ridiculous card, but Madolches, I feel that Madolches are still kept in check because of the potential bricks in the main deck. I'm not running Exciter Knight, maybe that card should be in the extra deck as well. Because of this, you know, your opponent having multiple, well, like a big field, and being a stun, being like a very strong pick now, like Alter Guys, Subterrors, Exciter Knight might be a strong card as well. So yeah, Masquerena, not really sure if this is going to be my dual. Tornado Dragon is probably going to, yeah, indeed, right. Yeah, Promenade, and now that I completely forgot the Salon effect, and you know, Salon will just search out another Promenade for next turn, and that forces out a very mediocre Unicorn, and both Tigers were used up, I think, and yeah, Salon is still on the field, and Hootcake, you know, will just search out everything, and this is more than enough to yeah, attack for game. So Madolche is quite of an underdog deck with a new support, but Time Thief, Lunalight, maybe a bit more or less expensive compared to the Magician Souls hybrid, but again you have many options as you see here in the extra deck, the rank up option. Some options in the extra deck like the Kaliyuga, you know, package, Curious as well, the Borg, you know, the blocker Borg, you know which one I mean, the Link 2 to discard something, Excite and Knight, the Time Thief engine, Call by the Grave, Twin Twisters, you know, yeah, so many options, but Lunalight's quite of a good deck if you want, and especially with the new card Perpetua, Time Thief is definitely a fun option to try out. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.